Welcome back. Now in this lecture we are going to finalize on this change password and make sure the user can be able to change the password successfully. So let's see how this is done. So the first thing I'm going to do on the profile controller is to create a new method which will handle all that logic for changing the password for the user or for the authenticated user. So change the password for the authenticated user. And then the method, I'm going to call it change password. Request. Save that. Let's go to the root file. And I'm going to duplicate this one. And I'm going to change from get method to post. Because you're posting, the URL will be the same as this one. And then I'm going to change the method, which we've just created right now. And then the name of the route will be the same. So copy that and let's put it on the form action. Save. Now we can add the functionality now. So the first thing we need to do is on this functionality is to make sure that the current password that the user will enter on this form will match what we have on the database. So if it doesn't match, then the user will be redirected back to the form with an error message saying your current password do not match with the password you provided. So let's check that. Get the current password from the authenticated user. And then once it fails, then return with an error message. So return back. With So the next thing we need to do, you can save that. We need to check first. So let's go to the change password view and add that session so that you can be able to check that message or to display that message, that is the session error. Save. Let's see now from the browser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type a password which will not match what we have on the database and see whether it will be able to validate or to check. So first let's refresh. Now let's enter a password which will not match what we have on the database. So change password, and as you can see we are getting this error, class hash not found. So we need to add this on the profile controller. So let's go to the profile controller and use hash. Refresh, and now as you can see your current password does not match what you provided. So that functionality is working up to there. Let's continue. So the next thing you're going to check is the user does not enter the password that matches the current password. So on the new field, you must make sure that now that the user will not enter the password that matches the current. That's why they are changing the password. So if string compare is a PHP function which will check the two strings, that is the current password and the new password. So and if they match, return back with an error that says new password cannot be the same with the current password. So I'm going to copy this. So your current password cannot be the same with the new password. So let's test that one. Let's go to the browser, refresh. So let's type the current password. So I'll enter the same password. Change password. And as you can see, your current password cannot be the same with the new password. So there's a typo here. I need to correct that. But that one is working up to now, up to this step. Now the next step is to validate and make sure that the user cannot leave this current password as blank. And also make sure that whatever they are typing as the new password will match the validation rules that you're going to set. So request using the validate method. So we are validating the current password and the new password. So the current password must be required. That's the only validation rule we are going to use. So current password. Also required for the new password. Separate using the pipe operator and add another validation rule. It must be a string and it must be minimum of 6 characters. And finally, confirmed. That is, they must match with the new password confirmation field. So let's see from the browser. Let's go to the browser again. Let's try to leave the current password blank and type first refresh. So let's try to leave the current password blank and then change password. And as you can see, it says your current password does not match with what you provided. So that's why we entered as blank. Let's try to enter something now. That is the current password that we have. The new one. Change password. And as you can see, the new password confirmation does not match. So everything is working fine. The next step now is to save that to the database once it passes this validation rule. So user, that is authenticated user. So going to bycrypt, use the bycrypt. And once it saves, return back with a success message. Password changed successfully. So return save. Let's see now. I'm going to refresh again. Enter the new current password. New password. Change password. And now as you can see, success, password changed successfully. So everything is working fine. And I'll see you in the next lecture.